Flashback.
I'm gonna play the game properly. All that you still suck. I guess girls just suck at video games in general.
It was at this moment when we saw that it was not just trash talking. It was straight up harassment. So that's when the Rose Thorn, our casual gamer, decided to call on one of our bully hunters. So the bully hunter has now been alerted and should be joining the game soon. Okay, pause right there. Now zoom in to the bottom left corner.
Holy sh**, that response time, that blows the police, fire department, every emergency service out of the water. Apparently within the span of 45 seconds, the Rose Thorn was able to contact them via satellite phone or just some direct line of communication. They were able to hop into the game immediately.
So now Bully Hunter 77 is looking for the harasser. And it looks like she's going to use her knife, folks. And there it is, just pause right there. Let's back up and see that again. A brilliant knife move, very difficult.
A very difficult move indeed on a man who just fell asleep at his keyboard, apparently. This is some of the worst fake gameplay I've seen. You can definitely fake gameplay and make it look convincing, but this isn't even trying. This is like 2009 era top 10 plays where you'd fake that.
Later.
Oh, here we go again.
Are you really good?
Your mother doesn't love you.
Can you speak English, please?
Hey, go back to Mexico, bro. Monkey boy. Portuguese. Shut the f up, you.
Black piece of shit.
Is there a in here? Dude, you're a fucking
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and yikes. I mean, I don't know if you've been around long enough, if you remember the Bully Hunters, which was an elaborate ruse to combat mean words in video games, in particular for women, by then being mean to the people who were being mean in the first place. I'm not kidding. It was like the real world, the South Park meme of like Bully Busters TM or whatever, where they're like, hey, bullying's bad. It's really bad. And you know what? How we're going to stop it? We're going to bully the bullies. It was revealed later, of course, to be a pathetic attempt by SteelSeries to sell headphones, and they scrubbed it completely from the internet within 48 hours after being discovered. Well, apparently, we've got to teach the old man one more time, as now we have The Watch, a community watch fighting mean words in gaming, starting with Call of Duty. I can't wait to find out who's funding these people after a quick word from this video's sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pinned comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. Now we have the Watch, which is a relatively innocuous account right now with just 600 followers. But you wonder, who exactly is funding this? We are a community watch fighting mean words in gaming, starting with Call of Duty. To join, just watch Twitch, clip out any kind of gamer words, and DM it to us. It's an initiative by Melanin Gamers. Melanin Gamers. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what somebody's skin color has to do with their love of video games. It seems incongruent or unrelated. But then they have a 40-second clip, which has been viewed 262 times, and it is pretty boring. It has a couple of idiots saying bad things. And look, I'm not going to pretend that people aren't dropping the N-word in video games. I hear it. It's super cringe, and like, even I make fun of them when they say that. When I hear it, I make fun of the person saying it. I remind them that they're a huge loser and that they're not cool. And, I also include probably a lot of expletives because it is dumb. But I also hear plenty of other names and words that are not related to being black, but being white and all races, really. It's not okay. It's dumb, but it's a tiny, 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 tiny portion of the community. In probably hundreds of hours of Warzone played, I've heard it twice. I play a lot of the duo matches, 2v2s. I've heard it maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying in trillions of hours of video games footage, you could put together a compilation that will smear gamers pretty well. We're on a mission to create a gaming community where everyone feels welcome. Hey, everyone is welcome. And no one has to hear racist language when they play. Be an ally to fight against it in gaming. Together, we can get game developers to take real action. Well, no, see, they've already done that. If you aren't paying attention, most game developers have taken out the ability for people to talk to each other in game. Most people can't have any kind of conversations. You have a lot of people talking about Overwatch or Hearthstone. You can't even. All you can do is click the. You can only emote, and even that is heavily restricted. World of Warcraft, yeah, you have text, but that's heavily moderated. I'm not exactly sure which games they might be talking about that are free-for-alls. Help fighting it in gaming. Here's what you do. You do all the work for them now. Watch streamers playing Call of Duty on Twitch. If you hear spicy language in the background, clip it using Twitch's built-in function. Then DM us a clip on Twitter to help keep watch. The end game. We want Activision and other game developers to come to the table and work with us to make getting racism out of gaming a top priority. It shouldn't even be the 50th priority. It's not that big of a problem. This means more transparent reporting, tougher enforcement for in-game racism, and regular engagement with community members. Now, I don't really know, I've never said those words in a video game or really, unless actually referring to the word. I don't think, I think these problems they exist, but they're a distraction. Most people would like to not have people cheat. That seems like a pretty big deal. The goal is to show game developers how widespread this is. So what the real goal is to cherry pick across thousands or hundreds of thousands of hours of footage, put together a clip show, right? So what the watch is really about is about crowdsourcing all the bad bants and then presenting it to Activision as if it's common to hear. Now, obviously, this may surprise you. I'm not black, but I almost always don't say anything in video games. So the person I'm playing wouldn't have any idea what race I am. And I almost never hear anything like that. Again, not to say it doesn't happen, but it's extremely rare. These kids nowadays would have no idea what it would be like in the old Modern Warfare lobbies on Xbox and things of that nature. You see, here's V saying, "Oh no, banter, how horrible. Can I create a community without moral busybodies?" That seems like a good question. And of course, the famous Tyler, the Creator meme. How the F is cyberbullying real? Just walk away from the screen, close your eyes. And again, so what are you guys selling this time? People pointing out, the Steel Series stuff. This brought back a memory. Here you see bullyhunters.org. Yeah, skip the stuff. We've seen the song and dance before. What are you guys trying to sell? I mean, this is one of my favorite memes on the internet, this one. Anyway, I won't play it. Bully Hunters 2022, placing all bets on how long this will last, giving it 11 days after launch. what they're doing is they're farming the community for, obviously, for bad examples, and they're going to present it as if it's super common. You can see the tweet gets horribly ratioed, and many of the people, memeing on it, bully hunters. These type of words have been a core pillar since 2007, always will be. You see, oh Lord, these people have never actually played Call of Duty before, and of course, that famous recording of all the horrible words. Season 2 just dropped. Time is a flat circle. They're pointing out to bully hunters again. Bully hunters 2.0 just dropped. What headsets do you think they'll be selling while faking on mean words online? And then who's running it? Well, I don't really know any. They're called the Melanin Gamers. Official Twitter account, international gaming community that promotes diversity and inclusion. Well, how does it promote it by saying you're melanin gamers? Aren't you excluding the unmelanated? And like, look, if you're trying to, make people feel included or whatever, that's generally an okay position to have. But then what you end up with is like Gen Con this year has a room for like a blacks only room. What kind of, they're so progressive, they're bringing segregation back. And you're seeing like, oh, the abuse MG faced today was a lot, but I'm staying strong. It's not easy, this life we lead. Look, you can, volunteer to martyr yourself, but the reality is what this, I'm sure, is about. It's just about, creating a market for yourself. It's like all the people that got fooled into getting gender studies degrees. MG has always been big on tackling toxic behavior, rampant in gaming. Help us in amplifying this message and join the watch. A community watch fighting racism in gaming, starting with Call of Duty. Let's finally take action and change the way. Finally? Are you kidding me? Video games have been bending over backwards for the past 20 years, trying to continue to restrict people's speech. Look, there are mean people out there in the world. It's just words on the internet. You're going to be okay. And most of the people absolutely memeing on them get an actual job, bully hunters. You will not be remembered as some valiant group that tried to better the gaming community. You will fall in the same void that bully hunters did, except that'd be a shock if people remembered you in 2 weeks. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words are triggering and require federal regulation. My man, the mute button, my man thinks the mute button was invented only to look pretty on display. Sometimes language gets raw. Sometimes people say things that are not okay. But at the end of the day, like, you're gonna be okay. It'll be funny to see just how much money gets poured into this. Let's see, partners. Let's see who's the partners of Melanin Gamers. Hear from our partners themselves. Okay, these are just particular streamers. Okay. I have a feeling that they're getting money from somebody. It's actually a pretty nice website, so good on them. Doesn't look like they have a sponsor thing. They have a support thing where we can give them money. I want to level up and become a Patreon. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Nothing wrong with having a Patreon. Nothing at all, but I'm just wondering where some of the funding for this is. Okay, the link doesn't even work. That's interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? Go on. Get your mission on. Grift your grift. People will still be saying mean things tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.